Hey guys, David Pingree with Vital MX. Welcome to the much anticipated shootout of the year, the 110 shootout for 2021. Now, I know what you're thinking, what the hell is wrong with these guys? Why are we doing a 110 shootout? But look, these are $3 grand out the door. It's not chump change anymore. They're pretty pricey. They're hard to find right now. And if you're looking at which one to buy, we thought, hey, let's get a good perspective on what these things do, what they're all about, what differences are there between the three motorcycles. So I'll give you some facts to start out with. As far as weight goes, Yamaha's the lightest at 160, the Kawasaki is second at 163, and the Honda is 170 pounds. So 10 pounds difference between the two. When you're talking about dyno numbers and torque numbers, Yamaha has the most horsepower with 6.24, Kawi's second with 5.91, and the Honda is third with 5.85. Torque numbers, the Honda has the most torque with 5.2 foot-pounds, the Yamaha 5.1, and the Kawi 4.9. So those are just some raw numbers to kick around. I will say that the Honda is the only one that's fuel injected. These two are both still carbureted. This bike's been pretty much the same, the Kawi, for years, but just some updated styling and stuff, but that's been sort of the standard that the other two were measured by for years. Riding them all today, and I want to thank Michael Leave and Canvas for letting us come out to this fun little backyard track. A perfect place to come out and test them. Give us your thoughts on the three bikes. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, going stock to stock, I mean, like you said, Kawi's been the staple of 110s for forever. I mean, back in the big 110 scene in the early 2000s, this was what everything was, and people built monsters out of these things. I'm pretty pumped to see Yamaha come out with something that actually, to me, I think was pretty surprising. It was way better out of the box than I anticipated. And then obviously you've got the Honda in the mix now that's fuel injected. For a bigger guy, or, you know, I'm not big by any means, so let's rephrase that. But for an adult, you know, I think a Honda's a little bit of a bigger chassis. It's a little bit more fun to ride. The torque is obviously, like you said, it's better than the other three. For me, I'm gonna go with that as my favorite, although the Yamaha was faster. I did lack a little bit of, again, the fuel injection thing. I think for, you know, the modern pit bike is something that, you know, for me is something I take into, you know, pretty big consideration. So I'm gonna go with the Honda #1.
And what did you feel about that you liked better than the other two?
It just seemed like a bigger cockpit, and it was a lot more responsive with the throttle. And, you know, for me, that was just more comfortable.
All right, and we got Willie Simons. He joined us on our 250F shootout. Good to have you back for this. You actually fit these really well. I got to make a short joke because, like, we're three of the shortest guys I know. What are your thoughts?
All three bikes are good. I've been riding the Honda a lot. I have a personal Honda 110, but I was really shocked with the Yamaha. I had never ridden one prior, so just kind of what I've heard and stuff like that totally went out the door. I was pretty shocked on how torquey it was. Number-wise, I guess it is lower than the Honda, but it didn't feel like that out in this pit bike track that we're riding. It's pretty tight, backyard track, but I was pretty shocked with how torquey it was. So the Kawi was, it's got a slight bog to it when you're stabbing the brake and everything like that, but I'm gonna have to agree with Michael that the Honda is definitely #1. I think just all around for whatever you're gonna use them for, the Honda kind of is the better ticket, with it being fuel injected, and you can just kind of ride it in any gear, and the power's there. So, but yeah, really shocked with the Yamaha. I didn't expect it to be that fast per se.
Yeah, and while the torque number, it's 5.2 to 5.1, you got to remember this is 10 pounds lighter. So that's why this feels so fast. And to me, I actually enjoyed this bike the best. Honda's a close second because I do like that fuel injection. If you're jumping rhythm sections, man, just to take bogs out of the equation is really nice. But I think that for me, raw horsepower is a good place to start, and being the lightest machine. So if I'm building one for me or somebody who wants to go fast on one of these, I like that. I like that I'm 10 pounds lighter and I have the most horsepower. Now, if you're putting a kid on one of these, I don't think it matters much. They're all totally fun. They're all reliable. They're all electric start now, which is great. I noticed on the Cowie, one other thing that was kind of bugging me is when I would jump something, my leg would pull the Kickstarter back and it would do that grinding sound. Didn't notice that on either of the other two. And we were looking at sort of just the seats of all of them, and the Yamaha does have sort of a banana, more of a banana shape in the seat, and it makes the rider's compartment feel small. And I'm curious if there's any aftermarket seats, like Seat Concepts or something that has one that's more flat, and that would completely change the feel of the bike to me.
Yeah, one thing I will say is I think if you're gonna put a small kid on any of these, I think if you put a small kid on the Yamaha, it would definitely suit, you know, someone learning how to ride better. Because to me, the Yamaha feels smaller, all around, the ground clearance to all the way to the, you know, the cockpit and everything, and the suspension felt way softer too.
Suspension did feel soft. Yeah, I would agree with you there. I thought the Cowie shock and this bike were the softest of the three.
I felt like the forks specifically on the Honda were softer than any of the three, personally.
Really?
But yeah, I would definitely agree. I mean, if you're putting a kid on it, I'd definitely go the Yamaha route. I mean, that's the other thing too. Who's going to build these things up and do what to them, you know? So.
Well, the bottom line is they're all a good time. We found out today, your dad was doing lap times on you, just in case you wanted to.
We don't need a lit pro when we got Pops around. We call him the Don Pro.
So the Don Pro was on today, and he was fastest on the TT-R, next fastest on the Honda, but by 3/4 of a second.
The effort level.
Oh yeah,
was a little up
and he
here.
didn't know.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm not sure how hard my
and yeah, exactly.
Hey, I want to thank ODI. They set us up with some raised bars for all these and grips. It's their lock-on grips, super awesome stuff. If you're in the market for any of these for pit bike stuff, they make all this stuff, mounts right on. It's awesome. We really appreciate that help. Also, Decal Works helping us with our numbers and things. So big thank you to those guys. And we thank you guys for watching. You know, I know this was a little bit different and odd, but we had fun doing it, and we thought it would be good information for everybody to have. All right, we thought we better also get the opinion of some kids who are meant to ride these kind of bikes this size. So I brought my daughters along, Emma and Ellie, and we actually have a 110 at home, a Kawasaki that they ride. So I wanted to get their thoughts on all these. You rode all three bikes today. All right, Em, let's start with you. Which bike did you like best?
I like the Honda the best.
What was it about this one that you liked?
It was just smooth the whole time. It wasn't like jumpy or anything, and the brakes like worked really well.
Yeah, you said both of the other bikes were kind of, the power was a little bit, you kept saying jumpy.
Yeah, it was.
And then we even had some adults say that. They were just, the power's a little kind of abrupt when it came on, where the Honda's just very smooth. Ellie, what about you? You said you liked the Honda best too.
Yeah, it was definitely a smoother ride.
Just the power, when you get on it, would kind of jump out from under you.
Yeah.
Anything else? What about comfort, just sitting on it and riding?
Probably the Kawasaki.
It was comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's because you're used to that from having one. Well, there you have it from a couple of non-serious riders. Just came out, had some fun. You like ride, you had fun on all of them, right?
Yeah, they were all really fun.
But for them, they both picked the Honda. Thought it was easiest to ride, smoothest power, and best brakes. All right, well that's our 110 shootout. Thank you guys for watching. I sure appreciate Michael and Willie coming out and helping. And if you guys are in the market for one of these, they're all in your dealers. If you can find them, they are pretty tough to get right now, but they should be there. Check them out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.